here on was it Tuesday? Tuesday
Yeah,
at
it's
8
Tuesday.
p.m. Yeah.
How is it already the end of August, though?
The wife is out of town, and
Nice.
I'm telling you,
Dude, are you breaking out the loop?
Yeah, I might see the orthopedist tomorrow because shoulders getting a little extra usage.
All I'm gonna say is, dude, don't pull a Deshaun on us, please.
Nah, man. Trust me. When your wife's out of town, the risk goes down. You don't have to listen for the car to go, in the background. You're like, all right, we're clear. We're good.
Mine's right upstairs, so I got nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's tough in your situation. All right, let's introduce our guest. By the way, we are joined by Baddog Sports, or is it Bad Dog? Is it two word? Is there a gap in between?
There's a gap, yes, like Strahan's teeth. There is a gap.
All right, that's where we're gonna rush right through is the gap in Strahan's teeth. Right. Welcome to the show, by the way. 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Everyone, check out his link in the description. I brought in reinforcements for today because
appreciate it, man.
No problem. If you want to talk about your channel a little bit, give us a little introduction. Go right ahead. You have the floor.
Sure. All right, so I'm Baddog Sports. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. I did just recently hit 100,000 subscribers, which is awesome. It's not much to say, I'm just I am a diehard Giants fan. I've been a fan since 1984. I had a lot more hair the last time the Giants won a Super Bowl. But part of my charm on my channel is my ranting. It has become something of legends. I get a little ticked off. I'm a very emotional fan. I give a little analysis here and there, but I'm not really an ESPN guy. I'm really just a fan. I just voice my opinion. It's a lot of hot takes and stuff, but it really is just a lot of emotion that comes out of me, whether it be I'm pissed off or I'm really happy or whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty much known for the rants after the Giants lose, and we've had
you've been ranting a lot for the past 4 to 5 years. So speaking of that, how I knew of you was when Daniel Jones got drafted. You're always in the clip of you upset is in almost every compilation of Daniel Jones being drafted. And I've always just wanted to ask you personally, Tree and I were streaming when it happened. You obviously were probably live when that happened.
Yeah.
What was that like? Just take us through the moment, and just the feelings again.
So I pretty much just started streaming and stuff. I was a smaller. I'm still a smaller channel in the grand scheme of YouTube, but I was not really as well known because this was 2019, and me and my buddy that do the Giants show, we wanted Josh Allen, in the worst way, from Penn State, not the quarterback, but we wanted Josh Allen, and we said there's no way Josh Allen's falling to 6. It's not happening, and we didn't know anything about Daniel Jones. I'd never heard of Daniel Jones the day before. And then all of a sudden these rumors started. I'm like, who the hell is Daniel Jones? I don't watch Duke football. I watch Big 12 football. I watch Big 10 football. I watch the SEC. I never heard of Daniel Jones. Dwayne Haskins was the guy that I thought maybe we would take a shot at. God rest his soul. And, when the Raiders took Farrell, I'm sitting there going, wow. I'm like, Josh Allen's fallen because Devin White's going to Tampa. So I'm sitting there, just please take Josh Allen. Just take Josh Allen. Just take Josh Allen. Daniel Jones
right.
Do the later in the draft. And when they didn't, I just lost it. You ever have an out-of-body experience? I didn't know what to do. I couldn't believe that they had passed on that guy for a quarterback out of Duke. And I'm old enough to go back to Dave Brown coming out of Duke, and that really didn't work out either. So I just could not I couldn't believe that Josh Allen had fallen to 6, and then we let him go. So it wasn't so much that they took Daniel Jones that they passed on Josh Allen. So I was just, I don't know how that happened. And then, I took the video down from my channel. And the next thing I know, everybody's, DMing me, tweeting me, hey, your video went viral. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, it's viral. You are viral. And on SI.com, there's a thumbnail. I was like, wow, okay. So I put the video back up, but that's how a lot of people came to know me. And I'm always like, the one time I go viral, it's not my best moment. I wish I could go viral for different reasons, but yeah, I was just, I didn't know what to do. I just was so pissed.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I think I wanted Josh Allen too. I think I also wanted, was Kwity Paye in that draft? I was like, just
No,
get us
Kwity
an
Paye was the Kadarius Toney.
Oh, that was the, yeah, I'm sorry. That's 2
Yeah,
years.
you
later.
wanted
My
Derek
timeline-
Brown, I think. No, Derek Brown was
We didn't.
I
Brian
wanted the
Burns.
kid from Auburn.
Ed
Yeah.
Oliver and Brian Burns. Those are the
Yeah.
two guys.
I wanted defense. Like, I was like, we don't
Yeah.
need to address offense now. But here we are, four years later, and on the eve of another NFL season. Let's go and talk about roster cuts today, and then we'll preview our teams. By the way, great story. That's how I know you now, because I used the clip in the video when I tried to explain why the Giants are so bad. And then no one had they didn't put your credit on it. And I was like, I know who that is. I couldn't find, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I forgot to put the credit in
That
the
was
video.
how I found you, because somebody told me, they're like, oh, someone else is using your video. Like, people used it. That's what made me more mad than anything. Was not so much. I was just like, why doesn't SI.com or why doesn't whoever this is say this is where we got this from? I was
Right.
like, give me a little credit. Like, let people find the video, but they just took the video. I was like, no one's gonna know who the hell I am. They're just gonna see this freaking
Right.
Italian guy with a big ass nose and veins sticking out of his neck. Like, what the hell is going on? So I don't know, but
Yeah,
that's how I found you too, because I'm like, I didn't know. So Daniel Jones bringing us all together, baby. That's
yes. That's what
I
a leader
still remember
does.
the moment when your face just went from normalcy just to complete despair in that stream. I mean, I know it was like this was when YouTube had like a stream rate of like 3 frames per second, so you could actually see the frame where his face dropped.
It was bad.
It was just
I
YouTube
pounded
at the
an
time.
entire. I think I was drinking a twisted tea, like, because we usually drink on the night, and I just pounded the whole thing, and then I took another one, and like it was bad.
It's hard to believe that was 4 years ago, man.
Yeah, and that he
Hard to believe
hasn't
it was 4 years ago
played in a single playoff game since.
Yeah, we haven't been above 500 at any point.
Don't. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about some notable cuts today. So Alex Bachman did not make the Giants.
That's your guy.
But let's think about some other teams. We'll circle back to him in a little bit. Ian Book was cut from the Saints, but it seems to me like he's being stashed for maybe a practice squad guy. Cooper Rush was also cut. Marlon Mack is cut. Who else, Tree, do you remember that I didn't even bring up? Kellen Mond.
Yeah,
is
Kellen
gone.
Mond got cut.
Like
Alex Leatherwood.
Alex Leatherwood's another big name. And I'm not here to dunk on people losing their job, but it's always shocking that guys that were highly touted or were highly thought
he
of.
He got cut after a year.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I mean, it was probably because nobody wanted to trade it for him, because nobody wanted to take on that rookie cap hit. And he'll probably get signed somewhere. First round pedigree always does, but it is a bad look for the Gruden Mayock era.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I actually liked Leatherwood out of college. He just cannot stop taking false starts. He just cannot.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's favorite team is the Raiders, so he was also high on Leatherwood when they drafted him.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I got the list here. These are the notables. Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
He's 31.
He's kind of done. He hasn't.
Yeah. You lose a step anyways, whether you are in and out of the league, no matter what. So OJ Howard's gone, but he'll get picked up. Just nobody wanted $3 million.
Yeah. Plus, I think had a couple other tight ends emerge.
Right, for a declining tight end. Alex Leatherwood, we mentioned. Josh Rosen. Now that's
he had a bad camp though. Bad camp.
4 or 5. That's 6 teams. So if he just gets picked up by 3 more teams, he'll make the 9 mistakes. He'll just there'll be 9 mistakes made by 9 NFL teams if they pick up Josh Rosen. Kellen Mond, we said Philip Lindsay, the greatest story in Broncos history, was cut by the Colts, and then Sony Michel did not make the Dolphins. Marlon Mack is gone. Danny Shelton, Tevin Coleman again. Wasn't he? Yeah, he was like a spot guy, but these guys might get picked up. Duke Johnson, he's been around a long time. Anthony Harris.
Yep.
How do I say that?
Jaquiski Tart.
Jaquiski Tart. That sounds like a drink. Like,
It does.
hey, can I get one of those Jaquiski tarts? And it's like Jack Daniels and maybe some orange juice and maybe a little grenadine. And then Laquan Treadwell is gone. That's he's gonna get picked up for sure.
Yeah.
Mohamed Sanu, gosh, I can't believe he was even in a camp.
Surprised he's still in the league.
Yeah, a lot of these guys have been around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Preston
They made
Williams,
the rounds.
Kevin White, Devin Funches, Logan Ryan. Yeah, that's ex-Giant
Logan
right there.
Ryan. Yeah,
First round
he's-
pick, wasn't he?
He's been around for a while, former Titan.
Long time. And then Carson Strong got
Yeah.
cut. Trace McSorley didn't make the Cardinals. Oh no. He got
I think they're
one
going
NFL
2
game.
quarterbacks.
Yep. He got to play when Lamar Jackson had to take a shit.
Well, it wasn't just that. He also played when I believe in that Wednesday afternoon football game against the Steelers in 2020. Because RG3, I believe, got
Yes,
injured
he
at
did.
COVID too.
He did. QB Nathan Peterman did not make a team. Gosh, that guy.
Poor Peter.
Imagine being
Yep.
so bad at your job, you get 4 after. It's just like this guy's got potential. And
There's another one, Ben DiNucci.
Ben
DiNucci.
DiNucci. Yes. Kendall
Davis
Hinton.
Webb.
Oh no. Kendall Hinton got cut.
Uh,
He'll probably be back.
he'll be on a practice squad.
Yeah. Davis Webb obviously got cut. Tyler Johnson. Okay. All right. I can't get into all of these. These are just sad. Sad these guys. Thaddeus Moss, by the way. That was a while ago. Let's read some super chats before we dive into the previews because we don't want to take all night. It's only been 13 minutes.
Right?
But first, Baddog. It's so weird to say. It's like Baddog. Any players that got cut that you were like shocked or surprised by?
You mean for the Giants or like overall?
Just anybody. Like you can say Giants, but just overall.
I mean, out of all the guys you mentioned, probably Leatherwood because it was a first round pick. Other than that, like I said, a lot of the guys that you mentioned, they seem like they've been around for a long time. They just kind of. I didn't even know Mohamed Sanu was still in the NFL.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon, he's been a god. I mean, what a career that guy has had. In and out of trouble and all over the league and everything else. So I don't think there's any really big names there that I was surprised. Even with the Giants, I don't think there was anybody that really surprised me. Maybe keeping Xemnas over Roche, but that was a coin flip.
That was Jimenez, he's a veteran, so like, or what is he, second year player? I think now.
I think
like you invested capital in him, like so. It just seemed.
Well, I think this is his last year. It's his 4th year because he was part of he was a 3rd round pick we got with the Odell Beckham trade. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
This is his last year with the Giants, most likely. There's going to be a lot of turnover with this team next year. Again, I can tell you that right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I was talking with Smalls today and I was like, dude, 8 wins is because I looked at the schedule and we'll get into this when we preview, but like there's this tipping point, right? Like how many wins does Daniel Jones need to get to keep his job in New York? A lot. All right. Makai Wilson says it's already been 1 year since Bishop Sycamore High School done goofed. Yeah. 1 year anniversary today.
That was a great day.
Happened.
All right, Bad Dog, where were you when Bishop Sycamore got destroyed by IMG?
Probably at the gym is my guess, but I don't know. Either that or ranting about something that
because I think 5 and I, we were at like your friend's place down in Florida, if I remember correctly.
We were, and it was like, oh my gosh, the story starts breaking of this fake high school, and it's like, yep, there he goes, ESPN doing their homework again. It's amazing that as much as they've suffered over the years, they can't even do their job.
Well, I think the problem is they outsourced it to somebody else and they vetted them. I think that was the problem there.
They just are sloppy now, you know. But I mean, this is coming from someone who doesn't always check his facts either. So
But we're YouTubers.
Yeah. We're not.
This isn't our profession. I mean, ESPN. I'm glad ESPN kind of sucks. It helps.
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
think we all
they
are.
hand viewers to us,
They
like,
do.
because when fans are as authentic as the journalists, like, it just makes it, because we watch the same games, we see the same film. It's
Yeah,
funny.
we actually do watch the games. I don't know how much of the games they actually watch. Like we watch, we're vested in our teams. So yeah, that's why, you know, like I said, a lot of my post game videos get the, you know, the response they do, because I just feel like the fans on YouTube, they can relate to us. You know what I mean? Like we're just a regular everyday Joe, love our teams. And when you make a video or something, people a lot of times I feel like they watch and they're like, yeah, I can relate to that. I feel that. I understand what you're going through, man. This freaking sucks. So we're, you know, and we don't have to clean it up. I mean, we can just be ourselves.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
and we
There's
can cut.
censorship, really. I mean, outside of what YouTube makes us do, but you know, we don't have to worry about being professional here. So I
Right.
think that
I
makes
heard-
a good product.
I heard you can say the word taint on YouTube. That's what I heard.
Sweet.
David Lim says, "Hey, Tree and Adam, trying to build my YouTube channel. How much do you spend, if any, on image rights for your vids? Also, tipping Pats for last in LA in East. Oh, the Pats are gonna go last in the.
I mean,
AFC East.
dude, their offensive play calling is being run by a combination of Matt Patricia and Joe Judge.
Is it? Is it? Do you think Belichick, when they call in some ridiculous sneak on third down, do you don't think Belichick just gives them a look like, what the
Dude,
fuck?
Belichick is too busy watching film to even worry about the offense.
Belichick does not let, like, he just gives. I think he gives Patricia the play sheet and is like, you call these or I'll fucking cut your throat. And then Patricia, that's why Patricia keeps the pencil behind his ear. It's not because he's doing anything with it. The play sheet's laminated, right? He's got a dry erase marker. The pencil is for when Belichick tries to stab him with a knife and he's got to bust the pencil out and try to fend himself off from Belichick. That's what it's for. It has no relevance to what he's doing over there. I'm just saying, man. All right. On the image rights, let's just say don't ever use Getty Images. Like, don't use
there are
their
a couple
stuff.
sites that I have a membership for, Envato Elements. There's one right there. I know they have like images, stock video, sound effects, general overlays. I use that. Epidemic Sound is another one I'm a membership of. That's music bed, sound effects. So those
you
would be the
wanna
two. I know
avoid-
there's a couple other ones as well.
When it comes to pictures, like, you know, just don't use Getty stuff and try not to use a smaller photographer's picture. And if you do, like, modify the image, like cut the background out of it or do something so that you're transforming the picture. Because if you're just ripping people's pictures off, that's not cool, you know. So but there are some sites that are a little bit more friendly to you using, like USA Today really is not going to put up a much of a bitch fest about it. Some of the AP sites, Wikipedia will never bother you. Like, I try to find a picture on Wikipedia before I have to, you know, maybe borrow an image that is
I think Wikipedia is technically public domain, right?
So I tried to license Getty. You know how much they wanted, Baddog?
I think it was like something.
They wanted $3,000 a month for 5 pictures, and I was like, dude, why would I do that? Like,
I thought Adobe stock pictures were expensive.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I was willing to pay, you know, $500, even $1,000 a month for pictures to be clean, and they wanted $3,000. I was like, for 5 pictures? Come on, dude.
That's insane. I just stay away from Getty.
yeah. Don't fuck with
away
Getty. They will ruin your ass.
Yeah, but I stay away from those guys.
Yeah. All right. Official Gross Lycan Yunzer 316 says Steelers gone to Super Bowl. Yeah, Jagoffs. All right. And Sir Random Guy says, you guys mark week 11 Bears versus Falcons, the greatest game. That could be a tank bowl. Could be a tank bowl for sure. And then, where'd that Verstappen? Oh, Red Rhino said, oh, I jumped down. Red Rhino 49 said, nothing can stop Max Verstappen. He is going to be the next Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, he's going to run away with the F1 championship. Do you watch racing at all, Baddog?
I used to be big into NASCAR years and years ago, but when they started
same.
changing the point system and the the race for the chase and the stages, I'm like,
Yeah, it's
hell.
actually alien. Like that's the thing that I love about Formula One is they haven't changed anything, and it's
Yeah.
more interesting than NASCAR that has tried all these gimmicks. It's like, yeah, it's a boring season for Formula One, but it's still dope to watch the cars.
Yeah.
You know, like they're awesome looking fucking cars, man.
Yeah. I used to go to a NASCAR race every year.
Really?
The Coca-Cola 600. I went to Dover. I've been to New Hampshire a couple times. But yeah, man, once they started changing stuff around, I'm like, I don't like the way they do this stuff now. So, and I think NASCAR lost a lot of its personality when it lost guys like Earnhardt and Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ward Burton and Jeff Burton, Rusty Wallace and Ricky Rudd. Like, I felt like it lost its personality when it lost guys like that. The rivalries aren't the same as it used to be. And you have like a Darrell Waltrip and a Dale Earnhardt or Rusty and Ricky Rudd or Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, whatever the hell it was. There was a lot of good stuff back then, but it just I don't like the changes they made. So I got away from it probably 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, now you got Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, some of the tamest rivalries ever, because they just talk shit about each other behind their backs.
Yeah, I got a Joey Logano autograph hard hat over there because I just felt like I was a Tony Stewart fan. I gotcha. Because I felt like his personality was like mine. And then when he left, I just kind of stayed with the Home Depot car. So I rooted for Logano. I rooted for Kenseth. And then now, I mean, I'm a casual fan. I watch it here and there. I root for Chase Elliott, but for a long time, I stayed with the Home.
Chase Elliott's actually super cool. So we went to Daytona last year, the Coke Zero, and we had media passes. We got to interview. Yeah, you keep it ready.
If anybody's ever watched my streams, they know I live on that.
So yeah, we got to meet a lot of those guys. They're super cool. The drivers are just normal dudes, they're just a lot of them.
Short.
Yeah. Kyle Larson was out there, super short dude. But Chase Elliott was really cool. Ryan Blaney knew who the people that we were with, like, because we were with Eric Estep and Black Flags Matter, Darian, and then Jared Lundberg and David Land. Like those guys are the Pat McAfee's of NASCAR. Nice. And so everybody was like all over them. But it's crazy to think that guys that do YouTube are celebrities when they go.
I was going to ask, do you guys get recognized in person? Like, do people recognize you when you go somewhere? Does that happen often, or?
It's happened like 3 or 4 times. We don't appear on camera much other than at this show.
Gotcha.
And then anybody at this show that watches this show regularly would know us anyway. Okay. So
I know when I was at NASCAR, the one who got recognized the most was Eric Estep. Although he is very recognizable, tall dude, mustache.
Right.
Yeah. People kept coming up to him. A couple of people knew who me and Tree were at the NASCAR race, but I get recognized like once every 8 months in some random situation.
As I said, once again, we don't really put our faces out there unless people watch the ads.
Gotcha. Do you get recognized, or people like, hey, you're that guy?
Yeah, it's the same. It's rare. I have got recognized a couple times, but it's not often. I live in upstate New York, so it's not like there's a.
Okay, so you're not in the city. Like
no, I'm like
you probably get pegged.
Yeah, I'm probably like 180 miles north of the city. I'm up in Saratoga County, so Tri-City area up here. But it is always kind of weird because I'm like, why? It's kind of humbling that anybody would come up and take time another day to go, hey, I'm a fan. I'm like, it's hard to understand, but it's cool. I'm always like, thank you for watching. Thanks for noticing or coming up and saying hello. I'm always taken back by somebody that's like, hey, you're Baddog. It's just, I'm not used to that. So I think it's pretty cool though.
Yeah, anytime it happens, I'm just like, what? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like caught off guard.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, Spartan win. Let's get this one and we'll start the preview. He says, NFL season about to start. Since the Cowboys are going to be the most overrated team as usual, what team do you think is the most underrated? Ooh, who are we sleeping on?
I'm going to say the combination Vikings and Broncos.
Oh, I don't think we're sleeping on the Broncos.
The Vikings, I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on because I think they made the biggest improvement of anyone in the NFL just by getting rid of Mike Zimmer. They needed to, man. Needed to.
Yeah. I think people, I guess.
Well,
like
New
the
Orleans too.
Lions-
I'd say if they stay healthy, I think they're another one people are sleeping on.
I think the Lions are going to be much better than last year, and I guess not many people are sleeping on them because they've been watching Hard Knocks and bullshit like that. But like to me, I think they're going to be probably the most improved team. They've added pieces. I mean, Goff isn't terrible. You know, he's been to a Super Bowl. I think the Lions will be improved, and
Maybe
don't know.
Carolina.
Carolina depends.
yeah.
It depends on Baker.
Yep.
And if Christian McCaffrey stays
Right.
healthy. I mean,
Yeah,
their
I mean,
offensive
they-
line
they
was a
could be-
mess
they could
last
be-
year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if Baker's good and McCaffrey's healthy, I think that people could be sleeping on them.
could be with that defense. I think they'll be able to recover more than as bad as their offense was. I can definitely see that. Probably say, I mean, I'm trying to think. I know people say the Colts. I don't agree because I mean they're not stable quarterback. They just had their
Matt
fourth in
Ryan.
4 years.
Yeah, they're just carting out another failed, Super Bowl non-winning quarterback. Shit, Rivers didn't even get to a Super like that. How is that your model? You just keep running out a used car out
Well,
there
the problem is
every year.
they're built for Andrew Luck and they don't have Andrew Luck. That's the problem.
Like, what is Frank Reich doing? Like, go out, get you a young stud, and do it the way. I guess Reich sees the writing on the wall that
It's desperation
he's on the
because
hot
if
seat.
they fail
Yeah.
again, both him and Ballard are getting fired.
Yeah, for sure. But
They
that's
also don't.
shitty.
They really don't draft early enough to get a quarterback either. So they kind of they're in quarterback purgatory. You know,
The last time they drafted high was Quentin Nelson, and they had Andrew Luck. So
Right.
nothing.
And that was a good
there.
pick for them. The Giants could
Oh,
use them
very good
too.
pick.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the Giants. Speaking of that,
Yeah, that's
About
apropos
halfway through.
dumpster fire.
all right, yes,
Yeah.
the dumpster fire. Look, obviously next week we're gonna do official predictions. Fitzy's gonna come back. Ooch will probably be back. But I will give my prediction this year. I'm looking at the Giants. If you look at what we've added on offense, right? We got Evan Neal, Andrew Thomas. It's looking pretty good over there, even though I hated the pick at the time.
Did you really? Who
but-
did you want? Who did you want?
I think I wanted, that was the draft where I wanted.
Yeah, it was Kwity Paye. It was
I
Kwity
did
Paye. You
want
wanted
Kwity
edge.
Paye. I
I
wanted
mean,
edge.
Ojulari's been pretty good for you, though.
And then who else? I think I wanted, was Becton in that draft?
No,
too?
Becton was a
He was in
2019.
the Andrew
That was the
Thomas
Andrew
draft.
Thomas draft.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So when Thomas, I was like, all right. If
I
we're
think
gonna
you
go
wanted
all-
him and Derek Brown. I think those were
That's
the
right.
two.
I was like, if we're gonna go O line, I want Becton, and then they pulled Thomas out of nowhere. I was like, okay, well, he's I wanted either an edge rusher or Becton, but turns out that Gettleman was actually right for once.
I actually
I
like
mean,
that
Thomas
pick.
right.
I actually
Okay.
like that pick.
It was like a solid pick. He wasn't at the highest upside.
I thought it was the
but, I mean,
safest pick.
the pick was worse, but at the end of the day, I mean, Thomas isn't a bad consolation.
No. He was good, and Becton's been hurt, and like it's okay. Like, and now you add Evan Neal there. We got a problem at who's the center. I think he's kind of trash.
Well, I know Gates is still injured, right?
Yeah, Gates' leg is still in 4 pieces, so he's not going to be playing anytime soon. He hasn't recovered it. He's still on IR, right? Gates?
Yeah, I mean, dude, his entire leg snapped. I don't know if he plays again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too terribly, the line's going to be better, right?
Hopefully.
Then
The
Daniel
interior
Jones-
line still questions.
Yeah.
Glowinski. I don't know.
But those are the tackles is where you have to start, right?
Yes,
You got to
agreed.
start there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shane Lemieux, he's in his 3rd season here.
Nate Solder got cut, I think. So
yeah, Nate
he's
Solder's gone.
Yeah, he's been
Fuck
gone.
him. He was worthless.
He gone.
That's like Gettleman made very Dan Snyder moves. It's like, let me
Yeah,
pay this
very
guy at the end of
rough
his career
decisions.
way more than he needs to be.
Well, remember when they signed him, he came off a Super Bowl, so
Right.
that's why.
Yeah, but
he was the best
he's
left tackle available in the free agency. So I mean, I can't. Gettleman made a lot of bad moves. I can't fault him, but he tried. It's everything Gettleman tried sucked. Like it just never worked. But I couldn't fault him for that. He was doing his best.
He was, but like
Yeah.
when you mess up that many times, like you're like you mess
his
up
drafting
once.
was questionable.
Oh, his drafting was terrible. He said he wanted to fix the O-line. He had 6 first-round picks here because of the trades. He got an extra one from Cleveland with Odell Beckham. Then he traded up and took DeAndre Baker. He took one lineman in the first round. It was Andrew Thomas. He's been good. And then his last season years ago, he did not address the offensive line in any round of the draft. What the hell are you doing? I'm going to fix the O-line. No, you didn't. He made it worse. How do you come into a situation where you got no line, no running back, no quarterback, no nothing, and you're in cap hell, and you're there for 4 years, and when you leave, it's worse? How the hell is that possible? But that's what he did.
Well, he's in prison now.
He sucks.
We threw him in prison. He's not allowed to come back to the game. Like he's like Steve Bartman.
Gentlemen, that's
he's like Steve Bartman. He's not allowed to come back until we win a Super Bowl. Like you're banned until we have time to heal. You fucking
can't take a guy from Boston to run a New York team. It didn't work.
Yeah. All right. So we got Barkley. Hopefully he stays healthy. Matt Breida could see a lot of playing time because you just don't want to overwork Barkley. I just don't know when that original Barkley is coming back, if it ever does come back.
Hopefully it does. He looked good in training camp. So hopefully 2 years after the fact, he's back. I think Williams is going to get a lot of time myself. He's familiar with Dable. He looked good in preseason. So I think Williams will get a lot of time too.
Yeah, and Feliciano's so I think the offense will be improved. Again, the defense, where we're wondering about the secondary.
Yeah.
Did James Bradbury get traded, or is he still a Giant? Because that was that rumor.
He's not in so we had to cut Bradbury to save caps because we had no cap space, and he was like $10 million against the cap. So we had to cut him, and of course, the stinking ass Eagles had to go out and take him. I hate the Eagles.
I mean, they've really revolted their defense. I mean, they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, but Bradbury was like okay, last year. 2 years ago he was great. It was like, oh, what if signing by a Gettleman? Like, oh my gosh, good job. But now cornerbacks are up and down, and he seems to be going down again. Though we're not. It's not like we're deep there. We got Adoree Jackson and Aaron Robinson. It's like it's maybe the Giants can scheme their way and cover that. Because it seemed like last year there was just miles of open territory in the second.
Yeah, well, I think that was part of it. I think that Patrick Graham played a lot of soft zone, and it was kind of a bend but don't break. And we got a completely different scheme with Wink Martindale. So the secondary is going to have – that's what worries me because, Wink is aggressive. You're going to leave these guys out on an island. And if you watch the first game against the Patriots, Aaron Robinson was getting toasted like Elvis Patterson used to way back in the 80s. So I get a little – concerned about that. I do like our safeties, even though I think we're thin there. I love Xavier McKinney. I'm a big McKinney fan. I think McKinney have a breakout season, but I'm a defensive guy. I like aggressive defenses. I know we're going to get burned over the top a few times, but if we can get some pressure on the quarterback, sometimes it hides a bad secondary or a limited secondary. So we'll see how Wink runs it. I think with Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari, Dexter Lawrence, and Leonard Williams, I do think we're going to get some pressure on the QB, but the secondary is a massive question. I don't think there's any,
Yeah, and I was actually thinking about that today. It's like, okay, if Thibodeau's out there and he's winning his battles, like if he's getting to the quarterback, if he's creating that pressure, that makes such a big difference in football. When you have one guy that's winning, it kind of has a domino effect over it's like, all right, now we got to bring somebody over to worry about him. We got to put our best player over on him. Yep. Now then you can start winning every battle in front of you because everything slides over one.
Yes.
And that's how we got to be. I don't think we're going to have a lockdown defense, but as long as it's good enough, that's where I see that will be.
That's why I think Azeez Ojulari could have a really big year under this scheme. He had 8.5 sacks last year. You got Thibodeau on the other side. If he's healthy and he, like you said, he's winning, I think Azeez Ojulari could have double-digit sacks. But we'll see. We'll see. A lot of questions with the Giants. I'm very excited about the season, and I'm always cautiously optimistic. And then it seems like I get a month in, and I'm like, here we go again.
I feel like if they need to succeed, I think it's like they have to have every single thing go right.
You're right.
That's the thing with the Giants.
Exactly. Yep.
And I don't know if that's possible.
I don't know if it's possible either.
Yeah, usually I get really overconfident and predict the Giants to win the division. This year I'm being very realistic. 7 to 8 wins is really about the cap. of what this team can do. If they win 10, like fuck yeah, I'll take it. But this delusion
not
of
winning 10
grandeur
games. Get out of here.
any more than 10 or 11 games,
Sure.
like, and that goes back to the question, right? Okay, so my realistic production output is 7 to 8 wins. How many games does Daniel Jones have to win? You know, he's at the end of his first deal, essentially. We've already opted out of the 5th year anyway, so he's a free agent at the end of this season. What's he got to do to come back to New York?
He's got to make the playoffs.
Or New Jersey, rather. Yeah,
he's got to make the playoffs, and he has to be the reason that they make the playoffs, and then they'll give him a franchise tag in the 5th year and make him do it again. But he's going to have a year. The thing that drives me crazy about Daniel Jones is physically, I always thought he can do it. He's big. He's got an accurate arm. His arm's stronger than a lot of people give him credit for. He's mobile. He can run. But that pocket awareness has never gotten better. He progresses through the field too slow. In the NFL, man, it's like 1,000, 2,000. You got to get rid of the ball. You can't sit there and pat it and get happy feet. You're going to get killed, which is what he's done. So he's got to learn to feel the pressure around him, step up in the pocket, roll out in the pocket, make the throws in the run. And he's got to be able to go through the progressions a lot quicker and get rid of the ball with confidence.
Yeah, but how do you teach that?
Jones' problem in here. It's not his physical capabilities. I feel like he's physically good enough to be a top half of the league quarterback, but there's more to being just having physical gifts in the NFL, and that's progression. That's being able to audible at the line of scrimmage. That's being able to see where the blitz is coming from and change the blocking schemes and put the guys in the like Eli used to do. Eli is very cerebral. Tom Brady's very cerebral. The best quarterbacks are cerebral and they can read a defense.
Let me make an argument here, though. Look at the coaches Daniel Jones has had. Pat Shurmur and Joe Judge. I think like he's never been able to learn it. I don't know if he will.
Yeah, Joe Judge was garbage.
He was terrible.
Yeah,
you should have never hired him.
The clown show. It was Joe Judge.
Who was the O coordinator with Shurmur?
I forget. I know
James
Jason
Bettcher.
Garrett.
James Bettcher was the coordinator.
Oh gosh,
Bettcher.
like what were we doing?
Bettcher was our defense coordinator. Who the hell was the offensive coordinator? Shula? Was it Mike Shula?
I think he was Carolina.
Oh, hold on, Giants.
I think it was Shula. Bettcher was the defensive coordinator. Shurmur called the play. He was better with Shurmur. But yeah,
no, guys. Garrett was.
It was Mike Shula.
That was Judge.
It was fucking Mike Shula. 2018.
But I agree with you. The Giants have done Daniel Jones no favors. His offensive line has sucked. The drafting sucks. He's got no wide receivers. We pay $72 million for Galladay. The guy had as many touchdowns as UI and Adam combined last year too. So when your left tackle is outscoring your first round pick and your $72 million wide receiver, there's a lot of problems. And Daniel Jones can't stay healthy. That's another problem. So he's got to put it all together this year, though, and be the guy that Gettleman thought he was and Mara and company thought he was, and they took him 6th overall. He's got.
And I've been telling,
I just don't see it.
I've been telling this guy right here, the only reason why you're optimistic about Daniel Jones is because your backup options were so horrendous.
They were bad
in the second half, and I mean horrendous.
Jake from
State Farm and Mike Glennon, who somehow is still getting NFL gigs. It was bad.
It was awful. It was tough to watch. That was tough to watch.
It was hilarious for the rest of us, but for a Giants fan, it's like, oh my God.
For a month, I was saying, this is the Giants playbook right here. This is their offensive playbook right there.
I mean, dude, Tecmo Bowl had more depth than the Giants.
I love Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah.
They did.
All right.
It's like, let's get Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Call the record. How many wins?
I am at 7 wins myself. I think the ceiling is 9. I think the floor is 4 or 5, but I think if we stay healthy, the schedule is easy enough. I do think we have an easier schedule. I do think we can win 7. I don't think our division's incredibly tough. I do think we can win some games in the division. I think we can beat every one of these teams. I don't know if we never beat Dallas, but Daniel Jones has beaten Philadelphia a few times. We always seem to play well against Washington. The Bears, we should be able to beat them. We should be able to beat Carolina. We should be able to beat teams like that. So 7, I think 7 wins is legitimate.
We might be able to steal one week 1. The Titans start notoriously slow. Like they always get blown out. And that basically guarantees that they will blow out the Giants.
If we can stop, and it's a big if we can stop Derrick Henry and force them to throw and we can win the turnover battle, we'll win the game.
See, but here's some shit that they'll do. Here's some shit they'll do. They'll bench Tannehill or we'll hurt him because we actually get pressure. And then Malik Willis will come in and tear us apart. That's the luck
That is.
that the Giants have over the past
Yeah,
6
you're
years.
right about that.
All right, let's read some supers, then we'll get into the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 7 wins. How sad is that? That we're here six,
You know what's
6
sad?
years in a row. We're
You
like
know what's sad?
7 wins would be
In
great.
2020, I can tell you on my channel, we were so excited that we had a chance. We won 6 games, and we were so excited that we beat Dallas and had a chance to actually win the division at 6-10.
Yeah. That was a hilarious year, man.
Over here, man.
And
And you would have made it.
that could have altered history too.
Yeah,
like
you would have
'cause-
made it too if Evan Engram could make a catch,
That's true.
Yeah,
or if Daniel Jones doesn't slightly overthrow.
we would have won the division, and Gettleman would have probably gotten on for another year.
Yep.
And it'd be hard to be like,
3-year
oh,
extension.
Daniel Jones's option would be picked up.
Yep.
Like so
Yeah, it
much
would've been
hinged
good.
on that.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
Crazy. It is crazy. That drop
Just-
against Philadelphia was our
Fucking
season.
Ingram, dude.
He's
Or when Slayton dropped that wide open.
Yeah, that
pass,
was
Yeah, that was
like-
last year.
Yep.
awful.
Yeah.
Then Dexter
there's-
Lawrence jumped off sides.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, my
Phantom
God.
holding call. I mean, everything went against the Giants in that Washington game, and everything went
Yeah.
downhill from there.
We've had a lot of bad luck, but we can't
Yeah.
rely on luck
No,
to
I
win
mean, listen,
NFL
good teams-
games.
Good teams make
You
their own
used all your luck
Yeah.
in 07 and 13.
luck.
We'll
11,
take
but
it.
We'll
though.
take it. We'll take it.
That one guy said we did rid ourselves of Mannion, so our backup is Nick Mullins now. At least I'm a lot less scared of Kirk going down now. He's talking about
The
the
thing with
Vikings.
Mullins, though, is like he's very high risk, high reward, though. He's kind of a gunslinger like a Brett Favre. And I'm not saying that because they both went to Southern Mississippi. But, like, I mean, he did all right if he keeps the game in front of him like he did, you know, when he played for Cleveland last year. But there were some games in 2020 where he looked bad and just got exposed big time.
Not against us. Not against us.
Yeah.
They blew us out. Nick
Look at
Mullins
that,
blew us
yeah.
out like 36-9 or something crazy.
I think when Mullins was a Niner, Eli Manning, that was like one of his last wins. I think he beat him.
Yeah.
What does it say here? Oh, Connor Aker says you guys have thoughts on the new Thursday night football specific football made out of the Amazon logo. Yeah, I saw that. It's like a skinny pickle. It's just a marketing gimmick.
Yeah,
Alan,
the NFL, you pay the NFL enough, they can do anything you want.
Alan Nadeau says, would love to hear what Tree thinks of my 2022 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs haters guide vid attempt. Also, Chastain outsmarts the field to be a champ. It is wide open who will win it. Like there's no clear with so many winners this year that qualified for the playoffs. Like I have no idea who's going to win it. You know, someone could sneak in.
I think
there's no
already
Kyle Larson. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still upset about, you know, how Daytona played out when they played on a wet track and pretty much spun out the entire field.
Yeah. That was a scary wreck.
It was.
Gruel Guildgate. 2 questions as a Saints fan. First, should we cut Book if he doesn't develop better? Well, he's already been cut.
Yep.
Second, should the
Good.
Saints sign Sony Michel? Also, Love could replace Aaron Rodgers next season. That's all loaded right there. I don't know who Sony Michel is going to sign with, but he will probably get picked up.
He'll get a job somewhere. Like, give it a couple weeks. Somebody gets injured. Somebody will pick him up.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
a team-
Sony Michel got caught up in a numbers game. That was the only
Yep,
thing. with
I
him.
agree.
Yeah, or a playoff team is like, we need a veteran back here to, you know, get us over the hump. People are bidding for his services. He's not.
Oh, yeah.
He's not desperate.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers is so about him that he will announce when it's his last season. I don't think there's going to be.
No, he'll say it like right by the end, or he'll do the Brett Favre and then just go to Minnesota for the hell of it.
That would be some shit.
Or he goes to Chicago and still owns them. I don't know.
Oh God. Connor Akers, who do you think had the best, worst national anthem performance of all time? The best is
Whitney
Marvin
Houston.
Gaye. Oh, you went Whitney Houston.
Whitney
Super Bowl
Houston, I
25.
thought about, but apparently that was lip synced.
Oh,
Really?
that I didn't know. I was.
I heard that a couple
Hey,
of years ago.
I was a young kid. I think I was like 14 or 15. I was like, fuck yeah, America.
Yeah.
My dad was in the Air Force. Yeah. My dad was in the Air Force. You know, like I lived in Panama at the time. You know, a lot of friends' dads were getting deployed, and it was all about America. And Whitney Houston brought it home.
That was a good
But I think Marvin Gaye's version was pretty good. Worst has got to be Carl Lewis.
Yeah, I was gonna
Carl
say
Lewis or Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne Barr is the other one.
Yeah, Roseanne. Carl Lewis did not grab his crotch though afterwards, but at least Roseanne Barr like didn't make you want to puke with her vocals because
Yeah, he was awful. Carl Lewis
was pretty bad.
Was bad.
Yeah, he tried, and
Couldn't hit that
it's
high
one of
note.
those- yeah, it's one of those things where someone's
Red
like,
glass!
"Man, you could sing, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I can sing." And then he went out and you can't sing. Singing is hard. It's as hard as baseball. And Dodger of Zion, what's up, Dodge? 4 days to the home opener. I'm excited for Rattler and Beamer. Let's go, Carolina. She's talking about the Cocks.
The Gamecocks. They did not name their rooster commander Cock, and I'm very sad.
It's Cock Commander was the name.
Sorry.
That,
Well, now it's the general, I think. So it doesn't.
Oh, they didn't name it Cock Commander?
Yeah, I think they called it the general.
That's upset.
I'll be interested to see how Rattler does. I mean, Rattler was a Heisman candidate. It was one of the Heisman favorites going into last year playing at OU, and he was terrible at OU. I'm a Sooner fan, so I was pretty upset that Caleb Williams went to USC with Lincoln Riley. But I'm interested to see how Rattler does in South Carolina. It should be.
To be a quarterback, you got to be a little cocky. But Rattler took it over for no reason. Like he was cocky for no reason. Like you see a guy like Baker Mayfield who was cocky as fuck, but he brought it. He got the team to the playoff.
I love Baker. Baker and Kyler Murray were my guys. I mean, there's no question about that. I wanted the Giants to draft both of those guys. I love Kyler
where
Murray.
would we be if we had Baker?
There was those rumors that Baker.
And dude, you could have had him in the offseason for next to nothing.
It wouldn't make any sense. Baker would have really. He would have never got a look. Can you imagine Baker trying to deal with the New York media?
Yeah, he takes things a little too personally.
Yeah, he would have. It's like Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers could have never handled the New York media at the beginning of his career. Eli was a guy.
Yeah, same. Jones seems to be fine, but I don't think Jones has any type of personality anyway. So I don't know. He's just a really kind of just boring, bland guy, which is kind of what you need for New York.
It is.
And especially if you just ignore that's what you have to do is ignore all the bullshit if you're going to make it.
There's a lot of it here.
And this last one, Dan Young, guess the NFL schedulers are Yinzers. The Steelers away games are all in the Eastern time zone. What the fuck? All right, good transition into the Steelers themselves. Tree, how are you feeling about your team this year? Where do you think they're strong? Where do you think they're weak? And then give us that win prediction.
Well, quite frankly, it's the changing of an era. I mean, no Ben Roethlisberger. You have a two-headed tandem. You have Mitch Trubisky, who's probably going to be your Tommy Maddox moment for the year, showing flashes of doing all right. Throw a few good passes. I like him as a stopgap. I think his upside could be maybe he's a Ryan Tannehill, like a guy who's not going to get you to a Super Bowl, but maybe a guy who gets you to the playoffs. Maybe a guy who can be a field general, help have the other guys around him shine. Because Ben last year was bad. He was 11 billion shades of coke. It was either short passes up the middle where Juju pretty much got killed every play, or he just threw jump balls down the side of the field and hoped the receivers got him. Running back wise, you have Najee Harris. I mean, hopefully he won't have a line to block for him. I doubt it, but once again, it's going to be a situation where he's going to have to jump through three different guys to get a 2-yard gain. We do have a couple other guys. Benny Snell's back in the league as well. And then we have another running back that came in, Jalen Warren, who's had a pretty good camp. He made the team as well. Derek Watts, your fullback. Wide receiver, big guy to look for, George Pickens. He has had an outstanding camp. He has been one of the best wide receiver performances. Looks like an absolute beast. And I mean, he has a chip on his shoulder. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, kind of reminds me of Antonio Brown a bit, especially with the way his personality kind of meshes as well. Yep. He's the kind of guy who's going to be, holy shit, this guy's really good. And then 3 years from now, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's a cancer. Get the fuck off the team. That's what's going to happen.
Georgia. I mean,
that's exactly what's going to happen. The Steelers wide receiver university is that you bring in these guys, incredibly talented, and then they become insane cancer. And then we just want to get the hell out. It happened with AB. It happened with Martavis. It happened with Mike Wallace. Wallace. It happened with Juju.
It
happened
seemed,
with
yeah,
Chase Claypool.
it seemed like with
happens to
Juju that
everybody.
wouldn't happen. Like Juju seemed
know,
like the best character guy, and then it totally
He
happened.
just
with
turned
Juju.
and started doing TikToks. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what's going on? Because it's happening to like every guy. And George Pickens is going to be next.
He was
Dude,
like
you can
Georgia, though.
they'll turn Kenny Pickett into just this fucking egotistical asshole just because.
Yeah, Pickens was a beast at Georgia, though, man. He's got a
Yeah.
lot of talent. I know it was the Georgia Tech game. There was one game where he got in a big fight in the end zone and he rammed someone's head into the looked like a wrestling move, took their head and ran them right into the wall. It was actually kind of funny. But he always got
It's pretty balls
yeah,
out.
Pickens is a couple of screws loose, but
Yeah,
if he can
if
ring
he's
them in,
you see
he
it
has a lot of talent.
like that towards the TV with like his head up like this.
Yes.
And it's just like he looks like his eyes are about to pierce at the man's heart and just make it explode within his body. Like he's ready to kill somebody.
What about the defense? How are you feeling about the Steeler defense? as
Steeler
well?
defense mostly depends on how you're doing on the defensive line because you do have Tyson Alualu coming back, which is huge. Missing him was a big problem why their run defense was such complete shit last year. You do have Cam Hayward hobbled a little bit with some injury, but I think he's not going to have a career year, but I think he should be the same solid Cam Hayward. Defensive tackle, Larry Ogunjobi. They did get him, poached him from the Bears because he failed his physical. If he can stay healthy, I think your run defense should be a lot better than it was last year, although that's not really saying all that much because it was that god-awful. TJ Watt coming back, he'll probably get a lot more blockers. I mean,
Didn't Watt get his knee fucked up a little bit?
He is facing injury, but I think he will be back for week 1. They did bring in some depth as well from Denver, like solid, depth behind, Malik Reed. That's what I'm thinking of. He got replaced with, behind Watt and Highsmith. He's going to be there. I think this is last chance for Devin Bush. I mean, it's pretty much do or die, and he has had a rough training camp. Miles Jack is probably going to get the red dot and reclaim control of the offense. I mean, at this point, if Devin Bush doesn't perform, you might get benched for Spillane.
Wow.
And then your biggest question on defense is at corner. No Joe Hayden, and then you don't really have a legit number one. You did bring in Levi Wallace, but who else is behind him? Cameron Sutton and Akello Witherspoon. So Justin Lane, he got cut. So I thought like he didn't really pan out. Safety-wise, Terrell Edmonds back, and you did give Minka that contract. Real big weakness, though, and I forgot to go over it, offensive line. It is garbage. Kendrick Green is bad tech. He's getting blown the fuck up every chance he gets. Dan Moore is completely undermanned as a blindside blocker. Mason Cole's been James Daniels I haven't really seen much of, and Chuck Sikorafor is your best lineman, and even then he's at this point, you're bringing in just like a bunch of scrubs, and it's Kevin Dotson. They apparently really don't like because they've criticized him left and right. Tomlin's come out and just shit on the offensive line rightfully because it's bad. But let's put it this way: your O-line coach is the O-line coach for the Carolina Panthers last season, and they were hot garbage on offensive line. So it's that organizational arrogance peeping in again. You had one of the best offensive lines in football, 2017, 2018. It became nothing. Everyone's gone. And now you think, oh, we can take 2 mid-round picks, turn them into a center and a blindside blocker. No, you can't. That's why I needed to draft offensive line in 2020. Because you have this situation where Najee Harris is just dying in the backfield because nobody's blocking for him.
We feel
those
pain.
patchwork. Yeah, the patchwork offensive line does not work. I mean, what is it? Under Joe Judge, they tried that rotation.
Yeah, that doesn't work. You need chemistry.
Yeah,
Joe Judge is a big reason why I got 100,000 subscribers. I freaking went insane.
You should send him an edible arrangement.
I'm telling you, man, the opening day when he threw the challenge flag on that scoring play, I lost my mind. What the hell are you doing? How do you not know the rule? They review all scoring plays. I just want to get the official attention right there. I just try to get the official attention right there. We had a good play call right there. I got to go look at the tape right there. Shut the hell up, Joe. Jesus.
Dude, so I was at Brandon Perna's house. That's Good Sports. And we were streaming the game. My reaction was the exact same. I was like, what are you challenging? There's nothing to challenge here. You just wasted a timeout that when my first reaction is this dude is getting fired.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that he is going to make it. Why is he here for a second season if this is the type of dumb shit that he's going to pull on week one?
I really thought they were going to keep him for a third
I
season.
tell you what,
with the way Mara was going out, it's like, dude, you are fucked.
I couldn't do it another thing. But I'll tell you, man, he fooled me. Like opening press conference, he had me. I was ready to run through a wall for him. Like, this guy gets it. Don't tell me what these guys can't do. Tell me what they can do. We want guys that want to learn. We want to be able to teach. I'm like, oh, he's got the right philosophy. And then you saw the product.
And now
a lot of talk and no action.
Now we've seen it. We've seen enough bad coaches to know it don't matter what you say.
He could be the worst.
It don't matter. He is the worst, but like, as I've said this a million times on the show, when you have an overall record of 7-28, everything you say just sounds fucking stupid.
Thing about
everything
you make Ben
quarterback sneaks.
I'm just saying, well, everything you do like that, maybe that's a logical thing. If you're Bill Belichick and you run back-to-back sneaks on third down, everyone thinks you're a genius. He's like, look, I gave him the room because Joe Judge hadn't won shit, but it looked pretty stupid.
When you make Ben McAdoo look like a passable head coach, there's a serious problem.
He did.
I just remember the guy. There's the video of the guy screaming. You're a bitch, Joe. You're a bitch. And everybody's like, Baddog, is that guy related to you? Is that guy related to you? I'm like,
yeah, he's there. He's behind the bench.
At him.
Yeah, he's behind the bench, and you can tell that he's yelling like that. Joe Judge can hear him.
Joe, you're a bitch.
All right, Tree, give us the win count on the Steelers, and then we'll wrap up.
I feel like last year they fluked their way to a bunch of wins, and I think the same thing's going to happen here. If Kenny Pickett gets starting by week 7, the false hope train is going to be rolling right across the station. And best case scenario, we make it to the playoffs, sneak in as a 6th or a 7th seed, and then I'm sitting here in a stream watching the Steelers get the shit beat out of them by one of the juggernauts in the division. I'm going to say 9 wins because Mike Tomlin apparently can never have a losing season, and nobody will shut the hell up about it.
See, but and to me as a fan who's watched the Steelers now, since we've been friends, like I pay attention to the Steelers more. It's not an unrealistic prediction right there. But
no, I'd say like 8-9 wins.
Right. Yeah.
Always 8-9. You could have the worst Steelers team ever. You win 9 games.
Oh, dude, last year was horrible. That team was so bad. Yet they fluked their way to like 6 wins. Man. I don't know how they. It's not even coaching. It's just every other team collapsed behind them, and they had a free schedule.
Shit, the year before they went 11-0 start, and that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they did play, and then they just fell apart. And I lost my fucking mind in the playoff game, and in front of 20,000 people. It was great.
That's awesome.
Kill me.
Things happen. Yeah, that was a big boy.
People like it when you lose your mind. I noticed.
Oh yeah,
they enjoy it.
I think everyone, misery brings entertainment, man.
It does. But you know what? They also feel it. Like I said earlier in the stream, like the fans feel that frustration. They know it, and that's why I think they like that, because misery does love coming. Like, I'm miserable too. Good. Baddog's miserable. Adam's Tree's miserable. I love it because I'm miserable too. So and then of course your rivals, like Ravens fans, are sitting there. They love your agony. Adam, the Eagles and Cowboys fans are sitting there. They love our tears. They love them. So that's what makes it fun, though. That's
the NFC East loves dogpiling on each other. Every division loves dogpiling on each other. If Cleveland goes to shit, I will be licking up those tears till kingdom come. Yeah. I will be taking their salt and clearing my driveway with it all winter long.
If Watson gets hurt first game back, like the entire world is going to dunk on the Browns, and they're just going to be like, fuck you.
Well, buddy, hope you like your masseuses. It turns out it's going to be a 55-year-old with a massive beer gut. Have fun.
Uncultured Barbarian. I used to love NASCAR, but the changes they made bring in new fans. Turned a bunch of us old fans off. Yeah. It's not NASCAR now. It's something else. Yeah.
And they're not even bringing in new fans. I feel like most of the time it's just like mostly holdouts.
Listen, just look at what they did to like Richmond and Bristol. They took out thousands of seats. Because
Bristol has been sad because like one of their races just is sparse.
Yeah. You couldn't get a ticket. When I was going to the races back in you could not get a ticket to Bristol.
Bristol was a brutal, especially their night race. Their day race is just barren now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be there's just more fun to go to a race. Like you go there, you get drunk, you hang out, meet a bunch of pit lizards. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Yep. It used to be a good time. Jesper Clayson, I was very optimistic about the pass before preseason. After the Raiders game, not so much. I still believe we will win 10-11 and had a wild card. You never count out the Pats, no matter what. They surprised us last year. Yeah. They surprised us last year. What, 10-11 wins? Mac Jones.
Greatest coach ever.
Yep. And then Jesper Clayson says, what's supposed to be a make the wild card? Also got to give some love to Pat's rookie cornerback, Jack Jones. Okay. He's I guess he's somebody that he follows. Rangav 248 for $20. Hey, thank you. That's probably the high for the night. Good news. Player from my alma mater made the 53-man roster. Marquez Ball from FAMU. Bad news. 25 players from said alma mater were suspended for week 0 game. Not excuse of academics, but because paperwork to the NCAA got fucked. That sucks. Yeah. How do you get suspended how do you get cut before you even take a punt in the NFL? Wonder how you fucked that up. Kalen Chabal, thoughts on Jimmy G staying in San Francisco? Also, hi, Baddog. All right. Jimmy G represents one of the weirdest situations.
I'm surprised. I thought
it does kind of. If I am Trey Lance, I'm like, where's the vote of confidence, right?
Let me ask you this.
I think with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say real quick. Remember, I thought Cleveland should take a shot at him, but do you think that they signed him so that they could trade him, kind of like the Giants did with Beckham? Do you think that's possible that now he's under contract, so maybe he'd get a little bit more in a trade value since the team that would take him knows that they're going to have him for a few years instead of 1 year, and then he could walk away?
Why didn't they do this before, though?
Well, I don't know.
I think they were hoping somebody would trade him, like in the summer.
Right. If he's more attractive being signed, why didn't they do this? Or like it's like they're trying to create demand or they're trying to create value when there really was none.
I think they're waiting for somebody to get injured, then they'll flip him.
That's true. Good point.
I don't know. It's just like I've never seen a quarterback be so discredited. You know, he's been to what? 2 NFC he's been to a Super Bowl.
Smith, I think
right.
Is in that boat.
Right. He's been to a Super Bowl, Jimmy G. He was winning a Super Bowl. If Kyle Shanahan didn't Kyle Shanahan again. He went to the NFC Championship game last year. He won when he was in New England with Bill Belichick. But there must be something about him where coaches or guys that are around are just like, dude, this guy's not that good. Like,
players were burying him, like in the public.
Oh yeah. Edelman was burying him.
Edelman was burying him.
Just like, this guy's a whiny bitch. And yes, he wins, but you know, it must say something. Either John Lynch was asking for too much, right? Mm-hmm. Or there's not enough value for him. They moved. The Browns had no leverage and they were still able to move Baker Mayfield
because they had no choice.
Right.
But he would have never played.
Right. But they still at least got a 5th round pick. I guess maybe the Niners are like, nah, we're not going to sell that short on Jimmy G. It's like, I think he's not fucking worth much of anything, especially on your bench until Trey Lance plays like shit and
or gets hurt.
Oh, right. Yeah, or gets hurt, and then Jimmy G all of a sudden becomes so fucking valuable. The other thing, true, and Das Bork brings this up. Jimmy G had a no trade clause, so they might have had deals for him, and he was like, "No, I don't want to fucking go to Seattle," or he's like, "I don't want to fucking play in some bullshit ass." I think Jimmy G is part of the problem.
Yeah,
I'm speculating like fuck, but we're fans. We can do this, right?
That's right.
Right. We're not held to.
That's what we do.
Yep. All right, last super chat, and then we will wrap up the show. Uncultured Barbarian, who's sports dad, Fritz von Erich or Marv Marinovich?
Ooh, interesting question.
You know who the worst? Nah, you know who's worse than Marinovich? Because I believe that Marv Marinovich really loved his son, and he wanted the best for him. He just didn't know how to go about it. Bernie Kosar's dad was a real piece of shit. Like, stole money from him, abused Bernie, like just treated him like shit, never showed him any approval at all. Like, just if you read up on what his dad did to him, like Bernie was very, I wouldn't say happy when his dad died, but relieved.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like, what a piece of shit. What
That
a
sucks.
what a way to ruin your son, you know. But I think Marv Marinovich, he just took it too far. But you know, he clearly, and they've repaired their relationship since. So, but
Well,
man,
I think Marv died.
did he? I know
think
that
so.
after Todd's career, like him and
Yeah, but Todd kind
Marv,
of
like
had like a
they had a
tragic story.
business.
Like
Yeah, they actually
he
had a
kept
business
getting arrested
together.
for drug paraphernalia.
Oh my gosh,
unfortunately.
yeah. Well, you think about that immense amount of pressure on you as a 15 or 16-year-old.
Yeah,
to be
Bobby
an
Hull
NFL
was a
quarterback.
real piece of shit dad.
Yeah. What did he
Alcoholic,
do?
wife beater, and an absolute deadbeat.
I don't know about Fritz von Erich. Who was
Fritz
he?
von Erich was he was a father of a family of wrestlers. I believe their names were Kerry, Kevin, Mike, Chris, and I forget the other name. Kevin.
I forget too.
But like
There's only
there was a
one of
family
my
of five.
five, though.
But like he pushed his kids hard, and like
They're all
4 out
dead.
of 5 of them ended up dying before
Yeah.
the age of 30. 2 of them from drug overdoses, or sorry, 2 from drug overdoses, 2 from suicide. The only one left is Kevin. Like it is a really
And
tragic
Kevin lives on an island. There's actually it's funny you mentioned that because like I have him playing a dark side of the ring behind me. The Dynamite Kid one's one of my favorites, but they have a dark side of the ring about the curse of the Von Erichs, and they talk about all of that stuff in there. So yeah, I'm a big wrestler. I was a big wrestling fan back in the day, not so much now, but back then, yes.
Yeah, British Bulldogs. Remember
I
that?
love the British Bulldogs.
Yeah, they just fucking
Yeah,
went out and
yeah.
won all the time. I was like, fuck yeah, that's my
Yeah.
squad right there. The British mates. All right, we can wrap up. Thanks everyone. Thanks to the mods for holding it down. Next week will be the official
Season
complete predictions. We'll go over last year's. See, that's the thing about predictions that I fucking hate is the people that make them never go and look at their old ones and say, what did we get wrong? Right? They always start every
you
new
always
year.
get stuff wrong.
Right.
You always do.
Stuff wrong every time. And
Every year they're
people
always
always come collecting receipts from me. Bad dog. Remember when you said Daniel Jones was gonna be better than Dak Prescott? Yeah, I did say that. That was bad.
As long as you own up to it.
I owned up to
long as
listen.
you
I
own
said
up
he'd be
to
better
it.
than Darnold. I said he'd be better than Haskins. I said he'd be better than Trubisky. I think
You're
those
right.
are right.
You're right.
You know,
I'd say he's about the same
Prescott,
with
I might have
Trubisky.
reached a little bit on that one.
I'd say, because Trubisky's had a 12-win season. Let's be
Yeah.
fair to Mitch Trubisky. I mean, it was like a Mark Sanchez 12-win season where he didn't really do much other than not fuck up. But
Yeah, after 2019, I think I got a little carried away with Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Now that people know who you are, you probably dial it back a little bit on the over.
Oh, I dial it back. Now people are off.
Receipts come.
You hate Daniel Jones. Why are you such a hater? I'm like, listen, I just tell you how he performed. That's all I'm doing. If he performs bad, my video is going to say he sucked. If he performs good, I'm going to say he was good. It's not that I'm hating on him, but if he's losing 3/4 of his games, 3/4 of my content's going to be like he was bad. What do you want?
Yeah. No one's going to watch the show called The Eternal Giants Optimist.
Right.
Like, no one's going to fucking watch that show.
His performances dictate my content. That's the way it goes.
All right. Where can they find you, by the way?
All right. So you can find me, Bad Dog Sports. That's right there. You can just type that in YouTube. You can find me there. I'm also Bad Dog Sports on Instagram if you want to see some of my fitness stuff, because I do some fitness stuff on Instagram. And then on Twitter, I am Mr. Bad Dog 7676, which is what my channel was originally, and then we changed it to Bad Dog Sports. But that's where you can find me. Adam Tree. I really appreciate you guys having me on, man. This was awesome. Like I said, you guys are kind of like the Mount Rushmore of sports content creators. I mean, I'm like, wow, these guys. I couldn't believe you reached out to me. I was like, this is freaking awesome, man. These guys are like established, and you guys do great jobs in your channel. So I was honored to come on in, man. I really appreciate you reaching out to me and having me on the channel. And hopefully the Giants can surprise us this year. It'd be nice for a change.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on. Tree, you got anything coming out?
I just released the AFC Haters Guide. I got NFC coming out in a couple days. Just got to edit that up.
Nice.
All right. I had a video go up earlier. It was 1-start QBs.
Yes.
That
Nice.
I was shocked when I was going through that. list.
I'll tell you, I watched that and I was like, I don't even remember half of these guys. Like Matt Mock, I didn't know.
yeah.
Walk.
So John Wolford. So I missed one. John Wolford actually started one regular season game.
Yep.
in the playoff
Week
game.
17, 2019.
Yes, and then
Him and
Connor
Chris
Cook.
Strevler.
Yes, the big miss was because when I was looking at Football Reference, I didn't sort on playoff games. I think
Connor Cook was just a hot mess
Connor-
that game. He
yeah.
was bad.
Connor Cook, his only start was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
for
And that was
the
forced.
Raiders,
I mean, I
believe,
thought
yes.
I keep thinking he started another game. He never did.
No, that was the crazy thing is like Ian Book. Oh, he only started one game in his career. He's probably going to end his career. Or who else? Jeff Toole. I thought he played in a lot more games. He only started one. He did play in games when Manuel got hurt, but
Cooper
only
Rush
started
started
one.
more than one too. To be honest, with
Yeah, I thought so too. And then McElroy, I found hard to believe that he didn't start more.
that was
than
just
one
funny.
game.
Reliving
Right.
some of those names. I'm like, who the hell are these guys?
Matt Lytle, like
Matt
who the fuck
Lytle,
are
the old Pitt quarterback.
they? Yeah, Brian St. Pierre only had one career
Yep,
start.
Brian
by the
St.
way.
Pierre.
It was crazy. Just
The old
I love
Steel.
it when I find a video topic where it's just really esoteric and like you can't like, oh my gosh, who the fuck is
Right.
Connor Shaw?
That's what that was. Who the hell is that? Who the hell is that guy?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming out. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for everyone for the super chats. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you next week with official predictions.
Definitely.
I'm 5. Oh, looks like Dodge is having an afterburn as well.
Yep.
Check it out. And no, he's not related to George St. Pierre. I say that in the video. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Tomorrow, it looks like.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to
Breeze
end the
line
stream
permitting.
now.
Peace out.